Hey, my name is Jo Lindner, and today we're going to be talking about legs. As you all know, in order to have a complete physique, you can't only focus on your upper body, you also need to have great legs and calves. I mean, when we look at great physiques, one thing that doesn't get too much attention is calves. This is something we're going to be focusing on today. So for an overall leg development, we got the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, and the calves. That means a good leg workout should include all these muscles. So the main thing for an overall leg development is you need to do a compound movement. And for legs, it's squats. But squats, there are different variations, as you know. For instance, there's a narrow stand squat, you can do a neutral stand, you can do a sumo stand, or you can either do a front squat. And today I'm going to take you through all these different variations of squats. So today we're going to be doing 4 sets, each stance for all variations, and the rep range is going to be 12 to 15 reps for every stance. So let's start with a regular stance. Regular stance means a neutral stance, shoulder-wide stance. And here also, once you bring the bar out, make sure you bring your chest up and your back is straight. The most important thing for the squats is, once you go down, you got to make sure your back is straight and it's not like this, you know. Also important is your knees face towards your toes. So once you go down, you make sure your knees follow your toes. That's also very important. And also make sure that the technique is on point. Weight doesn't matter. Make sure that the technique is proper, otherwise lower the weight. Another variation you can do is a narrow stance squat, where you have your feet pretty close together. It's pretty similar than the regular stance, and the things you gotta be aware of also pretty similar. Make sure when you go down, your back is straight, very important, and also your knees follow your toes. So now let's talk about the sumo squats. Sumo squats are quite different because now we're gonna have a really wide stance and we wanna target the inner legs and the hamstrings more. Like I said before, you always have a few similar points you gotta be aware of, like knees face the toes, back straight, bring your chest up, have a neutral positioning for your hands. That's always the same thing you gotta be aware of. Next up is the front squat. Front squats are another variation and they are quite different because usually we have the bar on our back, right? But for the front squats, we have the bar on our fronts. They lay on our shoulders. So the thing is, how should you place your hands? You can either grab the bar like this, or if you don't have the mobility and flexibility to do it, you can also cross your arms like this and make sure you secure the bar here, very safe. And very important for the front squats is, once you go down, make sure you keep your arms up, chest up, and don't bend over. Because otherwise, you're gonna risk, once you go down, that you drop the bar. Okay guys, enough said about squats. Let's move on for calves, because calves is really a muscle that gets overlooked, and most people, they pay attention to the calves, but in order to have a complete physique, you know you gotta have great calves as well. So for calves, you could do a lot of different exercises, and I'm gonna show you the standing calf raise, which also have a different variations of stances. Either you have a neutral positioning of your legs and your feet, you can either move your feet with the toes faced together, or you can stay like a duck. And all these different variations of stances target a different head of your calf. So now you're wondering, how often should I train my calves? And how many reps and sets should I do? Well, if you ask me, I'm a big believer in training them more frequently, which means 3 to 4 times a week, with only 1 or 2 exercises, and rep range, you should mix it up. You should do some sets with heavy weight and 5 to 8 reps, and you should also do some sets with high reps and less weight, which means like 20 to 30 reps for high intensity. So thanks guys for watching, and I hope you found that helpful. Let us know what you think, or if you have any questions, comment below, and we'll catch up with you in the next episode of Back to Basics.